There's a single home that cost more than the GDP of several small countries combined. A place where helicopters are as common as bicycles, where gold isn't just jewelry, it's literally built into the walls, and where servants outnumber family members 20 to 1. Welcome to the hidden world of hyper-luxury that 99.9% of humanity will never experience firsthand. Today, we're going behind the velvet ropes and past the armed guards to explore the most mind-blowing, jaw-dropping, bank account-emptying mansions ever built. But before we begin, let me warn you, what you're about to see might change how you view wealth forever. The question isn't just, how much do these places cost? It's, should anyone have this much? Comment below with what you'd do if you owned one of these mansions for just one day. Would you throw the party of the century, live like royalty, or sell it immediately and solve world hunger? Let's dive in, starting with the cheapest of these ultra-luxury homes and building our way up to a property so expensive it will make your head spin. The One Bel Air Mega Mansion. Imagine spending 10 years and hundreds of millions of dollars building your dream home, only to lose it all before you ever spend a single night there. That's exactly what happened with The One, a 105,000 square foot mega mansion perched on a 5-acre promontory in Bel Air, Los Angeles. Developer Niall Niami set out to create the most expensive private residence in America with an asking price of $500 million. Let that sink in. $500 million. What does a $500 million home include? Try 42 bathrooms, 21 bedrooms, a 30-car garage with 2 auto turntables, 5 swimming pools, a 10,000-bottle wine cellar, a nightclub, a bowling alley, a movie theater, a philanthropy wing for charity galas, and, my personal favorite, a moat that surrounds the entire property. Yes, a moat, like a medieval castle but with better Wi-Fi. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. After years of construction delays, cost overruns, and changing market conditions, Niami defaulted on more than $165 million in loans. The property was placed into receivership and eventually sold at auction for just $141 million in March 2022, less than 30% of its originally planned asking price. The buyer? Fashion mogul Richard Sagian, CEO of fast fashion company Fashion Nova, who essentially got a $500 million mansion for 70% off, possibly the biggest real estate discount in history. But what most people don't realize about The One is this hidden truth. According to former construction workers, parts of the mansion were allegedly built with corners cut, leading to structural issues including water damage and mold. Some experts believe the new owner might end up spending another $50 million just fixing problems before it's truly livable. The One represents both the pinnacle and the pitfalls of ultra-luxury real estate. But even at its reduced price of $141 million, it's merely the starting point on our journey. Our next property has stood the test of time and carries a curse that has followed its owners for generations. Villa Leopolda, the cursed paradise. Perched on the sun-drenched cliffs of the French Riviera sits a property so breathtaking, so historically significant, that its walls could tell stories that would make Netflix producers scramble for their checkbooks. This is Villa Leopolda, the sprawling 18-acre estate valued at over $750 million and considered by many to be Europe's most expensive private residence. Built by King Leopold II of Belgium in 1902, this 11-bedroom, 14-bathroom Mediterranean masterpiece overlooks the azure waters of the French Riviera. Its gardens are legendary, requiring 50 full-time gardeners to maintain the 1,200 olive, orange, lemon, and cypress trees. What you're probably not aware of is that King Leopold, the villa's original owner, funded this paradise with money obtained through one of history's most brutal colonial regimes in the Congo, where millions died. This blood-stained beginning has led some to believe the property carries a curse, and the evidence is compelling. In 2008, Russian billionaire Mikhail Prokhorov agreed to purchase Villa Leopolda for $750 million. He put down a $39 million deposit, more than most lottery jackpots, only to back out during the 2008 financial crisis. Here's where it gets wild. Under French law, he forfeited the entire deposit. That's right, he lost $39 million and got absolutely nothing in return, not even a souvenir keychain. The seller? Lily Safra, a banking heiress whose previous husband died under mysterious circumstances in a fire within another luxury property she owned. Coincidence? Maybe, but the villa's reputation for bringing misfortune to its owners persists to this day. The most fascinating secret about Villa Leopolda, however, is something few people know. The property has a network of underground tunnels and bunkers installed during World War II, when it was used as a military hospital. Some claim these passages extend all the way to the Mediterranean Sea, providing a secret escape route for its wealthy owners in case of emergency. At $750 million, Villa Leopolda would be a crown jewel in anyone's real estate portfolio. But it pales in comparison to our next property, a vertical palace that redefines what it means to live in luxury. Antilia, the vertical palace. Rising 27 stories into the Mumbai skyline stands a structure so exclusive, so otherworldly, that locals sometimes mistake it for a high-end hotel or corporate headquarters. But this is no hotel. This is Antilia, the private residence of business tycoon Mukesh Ambani and his family. Valued at up to $2 billion, Antilia isn't just one of the most expensive private homes on Earth. It's a vertical city unto itself. Think about that for a second. $2 billion. That's enough to buy a luxury apartment for every single person watching this video right now. And probably their extended families too. What makes Antilia worth this astronomical sum? For starters, its 400,000 square feet of living space is serviced by a staff of over 600 people. Yes, you heard that right. 600 people work full-time just to keep this house running. The garage alone spans multiple floors and holds 168 cars. Most car enthusiasts dream of owning 5 or 10 vehicles in their lifetime. Ambani has space for a collection that could fill a small dealership. But here's where things get truly insane. Antilia has 3 helipads on its roof. 3, because apparently one helicopter landing pad just wasn't enough. Inside, every floor is designed with different materials, different themes, and different purposes. There's an entire floor dedicated to car maintenance, another just for a private theater that seats 50 people, and yet another housing an ice cream parlor. And while most of us consider a home gym to be a luxury, Antilia features an entire health level with multiple swimming pools, a yoga studio, and fitness centers equipped better than most 5-star hotels. But here's what most people don't know about Antilia. Despite its astronomical cost and jaw-dropping amenities, the Ambani family reportedly didn't even live in the mansion for years after its completion. Why would someone build a $2 billion home only to leave it empty? Some say it was because of Vastu Shastra, ancient Indian architectural principles similar to feng shui, while others point to security concerns. The truth? Only the Ambanis know for sure, and they're not telling. $2 billion would be enough to make Antilia the most expensive private residence in the world, if it weren't for our next property, a place so grand, so historic, and so valuable that it makes even Antilia look modest in comparison. Buckingham Palace, the royal residence. You might be thinking, wait, Buckingham Palace isn't a private home. And technically, you'd be right. But with 775 rooms spread across 828,000 square feet and a valuation of approximately $4.9 billion, it simply can't be excluded from any serious discussion about the world's most expensive residences. The official London residence of British sovereigns since 1837, Buckingham Palace has 52 royal and guest bedrooms, 188 staff bedrooms, 78 bathrooms, and 92 offices. The palace's garden is the largest private garden in London, a 39-acre oasis in the center of one of the world's busiest cities. But here's what most tourists snapping photos at the gates don't know. Buckingham Palace is falling apart, literally. The electrical cabling, plumbing, and heating have not been updated since the 1950s. Staff reportedly place buckets throughout the palace to catch water when it rains. A 10-year renovation program estimated to cost £369 million, about $460 million, is currently underway. And while the palace is technically owned by the crown rather than the monarch personally, here's the most shocking part that few people realize. British taxpayers foot the bill for its upkeep through something called the sovereign grant. That's right. One of the world's most expensive buildings is maintained by public funds while being enjoyed primarily by a single family. Is this the ultimate example of inequality or a worthy investment in preserving national heritage? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. At nearly $5 billion, Buckingham Palace stands as the most expensive residential building on our list. But what comes next might make even these astronomical prices seem quaint. The future of hyper-luxury. What will the world's most expensive homes look like in 10, 20, or 50 years? What price tags will make today's billionaire mansions look like bargain bin properties? Right now in Saudi Arabia, a project called The Line is underway. A futuristic city planned to house 9 million people within a single structure stretching 170 kilometers across the desert. The total cost? An estimated $1 trillion. While not a single residence, the project will include luxury living spaces that may dwarf anything we've seen before in terms of technological advancement and individual unit prices. Meanwhile, private space habitats are being developed by companies like Axiom and Blue Origin. Yes, I'm talking about luxury homes in space, the ultimate view, the ultimate exclusivity, and likely the ultimate price tag, potentially tens or hundreds of billions of dollars. And what about underwater mansions? Projects like the Floating Seahorse in Dubai already offer underwater rooms. It's only a matter of time before a billionaire commissions an entirely submerged residence with an asking price that could make Antilles seem affordable by comparison. But as these hyper-luxury dwellings push the boundaries of what's possible, they also force us to confront uncomfortable questions. In a world where homelessness affects millions and affordable housing is increasingly scarce, what does it mean that individuals can own multi-billion-dollar homes? Is there a moral ceiling to residential luxury? We've journeyed through the world's most expensive and exclusive homes, from the $141 million bargain of the One to the historic $4.9 billion opulence of Buckingham Palace. We've uncovered their secrets, their scandals, and their shocking price tags. But here's my final thought. These billion-dollar mansions aren't just buildings. They're monuments to human ambition, creativity, and yes, perhaps excess. They represent both the incredible heights of what we can achieve and the questionable priorities of a world with limited resources. So I'll leave you with this question. If you had unlimited wealth, would you build a place like the ones we've seen today? Or would you do something else entirely? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world of extreme luxury, hit that like button, subscribe for more eye-opening content, and share this video with someone who needs their mind blown today.